What's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are having a good day. Little unscheduled go live here. If you're watching, you know how this works. Give me an audio check. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can see me. List all the comments you're watching, and we're gonna try and get some updates out to you guys. So hopefully you guys can hear me all right. I'm gonna share some things with you. So let me know in the comments that you're watching. Troy, I see you, buddy. Thanks for jumping on. How are you doing, Troy? After that big win down there at was it West Box? I think it was West Box, wasn't it? So we're gonna talk about that. We'll talk about that here in a second. So hope you guys are doing good. All right. Thanks for joining. Just waiting to make sure you guys can hear me and we'll get things started. Get some things pulled up. Been watching the leaderboard all day. You guys been watching this leaderboard? It's been on my mind. It's been on my mind. So, alright. Sound is messed up. Let's try this. Can you hear me now? How is the sound now, guys? Let me know. Sweet. We're good. Been having some issues with the mic lately. I don't know if the cord's going bad or what. We'll have to take a look at that. I thought I had it fixed, but apparently I don't. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in today. I know most of you are probably at work getting ready for tournaments this weekend, something to that effect. But, we're not going to have our scheduled go live tonight at 8:30 like we typically would. A few reasons for that. One, I'm getting ready to travel. My schedule kind of got changed. I was going to be coming live to you guys from Evansville, Indiana, down there at the Bluegrass event for Grassroots Bass Yakking this week. But I didn't make it down there like I originally planned. I had some stuff come up with work yesterday and today that I had to take care of. So I actually had to switch days. I'm fishing tomorrow now. Bummed out. Kind of wanted to fish with my buddy Glenn today as his front came through. We'll see if it works out in my favor or not. I don't know. I always like fishing before and during the front rather than right after. But anyway, I'm fishing tomorrow. I'm happy to be fishing tomorrow. But I want to talk a little bit about what's happened in the last week, what's coming up, what's going on right now, and show you guys a few things. So thanks for tuning on. Do me a favor, please. Give this a like and give this a share. Share this in your groups, whether you're in SIAC, Grubby, IKA, Indiana Fishing, whatever it is. Share it on your pages so we can help get the word out about the amazing things going on here in the Hoosier State, the state of Indiana. Pumped up. This season is off and rolling. Let's quickly get into some recaps from last week. I'm going to share my screen with you guys so you don't have to look at my ugly mug so much, and you can see kind of what I'm talking about over here and looking at. So setting that up, and we're going to start with looking at the totals from West Boggs. That event finished up on Monday. So we're going to take a look at that. One of the first events of the season here. And it was a good one. Thursday, 0 fish submitted. That's because no one fished on Thursday. No one picked Thursday. Again, remember, if you're fishing Grassroots Bass Yakking Series, they're a 5-day event for the most part. But you pick only one day to fish prior to the event starting. So no one picked Thursday. But we did have on Friday Merlin Hammer kicking things off. As you know, fishing was tough in the state, has been. all month it seems like it's starting to turn around, but it hasn't just quite got there yet. That switch hasn't been flipped yet. So Merlin getting it done on day 2 with 2 fish. I mean, prior to Friday, we hadn't seen anybody put up more than 1 fish in a tournament. So that was good. Then Saturday comes around. Adam out there, he catches 2. You go back to day 1, just a little bit shy of what Merlin had. And then Sunday, in came everyone, all the kayakers, all the boaters. It was like fleas on an outdoor dog. It was bad. It was packed, but some guys got it done. No surprise, Glenn Landstrom at the top of Sunday's field with 77 inches. Your angler of the year from last year in this series, getting it done once again. Corey coming in close with 75. Justin Staley with the big bass of the event, an 1875. That's promising, guys. That lets you know there's and look at the size of this thing. It's fat. Look, let's see here. Well, we'll get to it in a second. Actually, no, I'll go ahead. So one of my fish was 1625, right? I mean, that's a pretty small fish anywhere else, but it's got a little bit of girth to it. Not anything huge, but this 1725, look at that. Yeah, it's got some meat to it. So these fish are growing fast. You know, a lot of you know a couple of years ago, there's only 12 inches in here for the most part. So Kent was 66, and that was the last limit of the day. Wyatt, myself, and Brett struggling to find a limit. I got a bite early and then just couldn't keep it going. I pulled a couple more off of a point, but that was it for me. I didn't figure out the bite early enough. I got on the wrong thing. And then Monday, the rest of the field came in. Troy, your winner, was 77 3/4 inches. Just a really solid stringer there. 15-inch average. Perfect. Brian Moore, 76. And we'll go to the event total here. Jim Strunk, 67. Jeremiah Thompson, 65. So a few limits caught there today. There again, Ryan, Chris, and Jennifer all struggling to find those limits. But your total is Troy Stinson, 77 3/4 inches. Glenn Landstrom right behind him, 77. Brian Moore right there, and Corey as well. Very close, very tight. So awesome job, Troy, on getting the W, man. Congratulations. All right, we're going to go back here. Got to go way back. Way back. All right, so now let's get into the other series that kicked off for Grubby this past week, was Monroe. If you guys don't know, Monroe was stingy, and that is probably the understatement of the year. Very stingy. In fact, I've never seen anything like it. I've seen Monroe tough. I've never seen anything like it. It wasn't just Monroe. Across the state, things were tough with everyone, even on the bass boat side. Like 76 boats blanked at Patoka out of 106 at the Hoosier Bass Open, from what I hear. That's crazy. Patoka's a great lake in the spring. Anyway, Merlin caught one, though. They won 11 1/4. Wouldn't have thought that would be much. It ended up being a lot in this event. Friday, we had a few guys and gals fishing, and Troy Riggins, Big Fish Troy, caught a 19-incher right off the bat. Really nice fish right there. Putting it on the Catch X board. And that was it for the day, right? So, again, you'd think, well, that's probably not going to hold. It did. It was a pretty good fish for him. Saturday, this is the big day, right? Also the day of the IKA event. We'll get into that here in just a moment. We had 14 grubby anglers fishing from across the state down there. Some locals, some guys that know the water and fished it quite a bit, and some guys that have never seen the water before. Unfortunately, they got pretty bad taste in their mouth because it did not show out. Steve Martin, Monroe Hammer, knows the lake very, very well, fishes it probably. I don't know anybody that fishes it as much as I do, but he probably fishes it close. But Steve Martin with a 13-incher at the last part of the day there to get on the board. That fish actually won him hundreds of dollars, believe it or not. That's how tough it was. Rick McLean coming in, though, with an old tubby 21.25-inch butterball. And that was it. No other fish were caught. Again, go to Sunday. Same thing. 13 anglers fishing. One fish is caught. 11.75. Pretty tough. And then on Monday, there was 2 anglers left, myself and Justin Staley. We both fished in a similar area. Ran across each other's paths maybe once or twice. And what a tough day it was. I thought for sure this was going to be the best day. We had southern winds. We had a front coming through. We had sun. We had clouds. The water, it didn't get cold the night before. The water was 50 degrees when I got on the water. I was excited. I ran good ways. I get to my spot, make a few casts. Didn't really like what I was seeing. Ran a little bit further and made a cast, and boom, right away, got a bite. Come off, good fish, really good fish. In fact, I got to see it for just a moment, and it was a good fish. Then a couple casts later, bring it over a stick. Once again, fish just nails it. See the mouth open up on it, everything. Another good fish. Comes off. So I was a little devastated, but at the same time, I was like, all right, they're biting. They're here. I only have to catch, 2 fish to grab the lead. So I make another little hot lap in that area. Nothing happens. I go back out to where I started, make a cast. I'm yo-yoing a vibrating jig, and I see this big old girl just come out of a bush and slam it. And it was a fight. It was a dog fight. Got her in the boat, put her on the catch board, and was feeling pretty good. It's like, all right, there's 3 fish pretty quick. I can grab at least one more. Did not happen. I did not get another fish. As you see here on the leaderboard, I maybe got one other bite all day. And it just didn't happen. I fished literally to the last minute, even trying to pick up a little guy, and could not get it done. So in the end, Rick and I, in what would have seemed impossible prior to the start of the event, tied not only for big bass, but for first place. So we got to split the pot, which was cool. And that was, that's a wild event. Troy taking home some money with a 19-inch fish, Steve Martin with a 13-inch fish, and Eric and Merlin getting top 10s in a field of 35 with 11-inch fish. Who would have thunk it, right? But it happened. It really did. It can only get better from here, folks. So make sure that you don't, if you have a bad taste in your mouth, if you're watching this and you fished IK and you fished Grubby, don't let this deter you from coming back in April and in May, because it's going to get good. It always does in April and May. There's big fish, as you guys have seen. Last year I caught 3 fish in one day over 21 inches, sent my PB like 3 times, or at least tied it. You got to come back in April and May, guys, at least to really see what this lake is all about. In fact, I already hear it's getting better as we speak. So if you're out there or thinking about going out there this weekend, not a bad idea. All right, let's talk about IK real quick. kicking off their 2021 season, presented by Moving Water Outfitters at Lake Monroe. Once again, bunch of anglers in this event. And here's what happened. Same tune, guys. Out of 75, I believe it was, just double checking here, 73 anglers, all but 4 blanked, including myself. Not proud about it, but it happened. Steve Martin, that 13-inch fish we talked about at the Grubby event, cashed him a check here. Matt Gibson with a 17-incher, getting a nice third-place finish and a check with that one fish. Aaron Wilson, 17 3/4-inch fish, getting him a second place and a good check. And then your 2020 Indiana Kayak Anglers champion, so back-to-back wins here, and coming off a second-place finish at the HKB Championship with 43.5 inches, 3 fish. The only person to catch more than 1 fish out of 70-some anglers. Drew Duncan, congratulations, Drew, on a tough battle, against the fish. Really, not against the field, but against the fish, and finding a way to catch some. You got a 13, a 13.50, and a 17. Big bass of the event was Aaron Wilson with the 17.75. And this just blows my mind. Little chunker there, though. Pretty good fish. Look at that fat lip. But let's see. Just wild. No one would have guessed it, right? No one would have guessed that at all. But we did see some big fish caught over the last few days in the Big Fish Challenge. Shout out again to our boy Jeremiah Thompson with a huge Sugar Creek stud. I mean, goodness, I don't even know what I would do if I would be set for the year if I caught a 21-inch smallmouth. I'd be smiling no matter what happened, because I can't catch smallmouth to save my life. And he's catching 21 inches, 21.25 to be exact. And that and this 17.5-inch fish he's got here has got him currently in the lead for Indiana Kayak Anglers Big Bass Hunt. Guys, this event is still available. Like, you can jump in this event right now. Registration's open. It's your best 2 fish, 1 largemouth, 1 smallmouth all year long. I think it ends in, let's see, October, I believe it is. I'm not sure. I'm sure it says it there somewhere. But yeah, throughout the season, you got Troy Reagan's really, really great start here. He's got a 19.5-inch smallmouth. This is a beast too. Look at that beautiful smallmouth there. And he's got a 19-inch largemouth. So he's off to the races, doing really well. Nick right behind him with 33. Justin, 32 inches. Again, a 19.5-inch smallie. Oh, no, that's a largemouth. I'm sorry. 19.5-inch largemouth there. So pretty good. My 21.25 there's got me in the top 5. But lots of 20s already coming in, guys. This is going to be a fun event to watch over the next few days. So that's what happened last week. Things are still going. We got KBF Challenge Series is about to wrap up at the end of the month here. I believe Gittner's still leading that last I checked, with like 98 inches. I'm sure it'll be over 100 by the end. Let's see here. We got a question from Marcus. Why do kayak leagues use inches instead of pounds? Great question, Marcus. So let's talk about that real quick. For those of you that aren't familiar with kayak fishing, if you're watching this, we are catch, photo, release. That's how all of our tournaments are run for the most part in the kayak fishing world, especially in the bass fishing world. We do not keep the fish in a live well or on a stringer or a basket or a cooler or anything like that. We catch them. And then we take a photo on an approved measuring device, which I'll bring up a photo here just to kind of talk about that. You'll see right here we have a catch board. It's a measuring device that is approved by all tournament organizations. And then here in this square, these are identifiers to let tournament director know that the fish being submitted here was submitted during official tournament hours. So we do total length of fish. It's just a easy way for us to get these fish back in the water really quickly. It's easier on the fish, easier on us. And it keeps us from having to have weigh-ins and that sort of stuff. So these can all be online virtual events, and gives us a lot of flexibility and opportunity to have a lot of different event styles, from single day formats to multi-day formats, month longs, all that sort of stuff. So great question, Marcus. Thank you for asking that. Matt Gibson saying tough. Yeah, unbelievable. Going to make an interesting start to things the second go around, to see how things kind of unfold after a tough beginning to the year. But yeah, so that's what's kind of happened this far. Now what we have this week is a bunch of grubby events going on. Let's get into that really quick. And I want to show you guys something real quick here. If you go to HoosierKayakBassin.com, you're going to find everything I'm talking about, all kinds of resources, other podcasts that we've done, podcasts from other people here in the Hoosier State, upcoming events, which we need to update these because these events, some of these are going on right now. So you can see what's coming up here. We got an awesome angler spotlight feature here as well, that every once in a while we'll put a new angler up there. We've got SIAC Angler of the Year, Thomas McNulty, so you can read a little bit about him. Follow him on Facebook and Instagram. Top performers, once again, subscribe to our email list if you'd like. Stuff about the state championship, HKB news, all that. But what I want to show you guys right now is Tournament Central here. You can get all this on mobile as well, obviously. If we go to Tournament Central, you guys can see live leaderboards going on. I'm going to update this. This will be the weekly leaderboards. So we've got 4 different grubby events going on right now, starting today. Grubby Sullivan Series, the Grubby Brush Creek Series, Bluegrass Series, and the new Grubby Trail Series that kicks off this week at Bluegrass. So how the Trail Series works is its own independent series, but they're in conjunction with other grubby events, so you can double dip, which is really cool. So you guys can go to live leaderboards here, click the link, and it will pull up the Tourney X leaderboard. This one specifically is Grubby Sullivan Series. I don't believe anyone's fishing today in that event, which is why we don't see anything there on Thursday. Brush Creek, I think we have 2 or 3 anglers fishing today at Brush Creek, so we'll take a quick look at that live leaderboard. And looks like fishing continues to be tough. We got Andrew West with 19 1/4. I'm not sure what signal looks like out there. Possible that anglers are waiting to get off the water to submit fish. But we got a 19 1/4 currently on the board for Andrew West. And let's take a look at what's going on at Bluegrass. The only angler today at Bluegrass, I was supposed to be the second one, but the only angler today at Bluegrass is Glenn Landstrom. Let's see how he's faring. Again, I don't see anything posted from Glenn, which it's unlikely that Glenn's not caught fish. I'm just going to guess he hasn't submitted them yet. But he's also battling some tough conditions down there, guys. The rain moving in a little bit earlier down there than it has here in central Indiana. And, storms coming this evening. So he's got some tough conditions out there he's fishing. Marcus, we got another question from Marcus here. Where are the bass in Monroe? Another great question, Marcus. Apparently no one knows where the bass are in Monroe, including myself. So why don't you tell me when you find out, because I would like to know as well. Because apparently out of 70-some plus anglers that fished, probably unique anglers over the different events, probably close to 90 anglers that fished over the weekend. No one could really seem to find more than one. So great question. No, in all seriousness, you can find good fish all throughout Monroe. In fact, I've said this numerous times. I don't care where you launch on Monroe, you're within a winning bag. The trick is it's just a tough fishery, especially on the weekend because of the amount of pressure it gets. So the trick is figuring out how to get those fish to bite. It's not that they're not there, because they are. You can launch up in the creeks all the way down to the dam, and be around winning fish. I've fished it for years and years. There are times driving to the lake on tournament morning, I don't even know where I'm going to start, because again, like I said, any time of year you can be around good fish. So the best thing I can tell you to do is go to the section of the lake that matches your fishing style. So if you like deeper, clear water fishing, you're going to want to go towards the dam. Those fish typically stay deeper throughout the year. They do get shallow some, but and then kind of midsection, you'll start to see more that stained water sometimes. A couple of the creeks, like Allen's Creek's a little bit clear. Ramp Creek can be kind of clear to stain sometimes. And then you get up into Moore's Creek. You start seeing more stained water, especially when we have any type of rain or anything like that. And then the slow side, which is north of the causeway there, the 46th bridge, if you will, where you start to neck down into the two creek arms. That area of the lake stays pretty dingy for the most part, especially if we've had any rain at all recently. And those fish up there usually stay pretty shallow. I mean, they're usually on cover. They're usually on wood. They stay pretty shallow. There's some bluff walls up in the creeks and stuff like that. Or you find them deeper still. But, yeah, it's kind of like, you start down there at the south end, deeper, clear water, and they kind of move up in the water column as you get up in the creek, generally speaking, just very generally speaking. All right, guys. So that's what's going on right now. We talked about what's already happened. Let's talk about quickly what's coming up. So give me a second. Let me pull this up really quick for you guys, if I can. So this is what we got coming up in May. Oh, I'm losing everything now. There we are. All right, so here's what we got coming up in May, guys, and I'm just going to go full screen on this so that you can see it. We have got a bunch in May. I said May, April. Apologies. Here's what we have coming up in April. I'm so excited to get out of March. I'm already thinking about May. A lot of events in April, starting with the Fallen Outdoors charity event put on by Southern Indiana Yak Anglers Club. This is the first event of their season, kicking it off here April 1st. Is going to be a great event. I believe it's $10 towards every entry fee is going to go towards a donation to the Fallen Outdoors Indiana chapter. Great organization. I made a post today with all of this information, and you can find it, of course, on HoosierKayakBassin.com. But check them out. They have a Facebook page, a website, all that. So we're really excited about that. And then, of course, you're going to be fishing that event. You might as well sign up for the KBF State Challenge Series on Fishing Chaos. Either way, fish KBF, sign up for SIAC. Fishing SIAC, sign up for KBF. Going to be a fun month. Fishing's going to get good because it hasn't been in March, which means these fish haven't moved up yet, and they're getting ready to. They're going to want to, and when they do, they're going to eat. So make sure to get signed up for that. It's going to be good across the entire state. Then Grubby coming in with everything in April. This is going to be a fun month for Grubby. Excited about these two series kicking off April 1st to the 5th, Brookville and Raccoon. I'm going to try and hit both of those, at least Brookville. Raccoon, I'm not sure yet, but I've never fished Brookville, and I definitely want to. And then April 8th through the 12th, you've got Brush Creek with their second one, Sullivan with their second one, and the new White River series, which I think is going to be probably second to Monroe, maybe even outpacing Monroe in popularity, especially after the hard start we had here this month. So White River kicking things off. That's an exciting event. The boundaries for that are the same as the IKA event that we have every year. So check that out. That's kind of like that mid-Indy Broad Ripple area north. So that's going to be fun. Then we got Grubby Summit Lake Series. This was where we hosted the HKB State Championship. So I'm excited to see what anglers do in comparison here. Beautiful lake. I'm going to be fishing this one as well. Very excited about that. That's April 15th to the 19th. Again, on these grubby events, you pick one day, guys, out of that 5-day stretch. Then on the 22nd to the 26th, we're back to bluegrass, back to Monroe, Raccoon, and West Boggs. Big week right there. Looks like I'm going to be fishing 4 out of 5 days with grubby that week because I want to hit all of those series that week. I'm very excited about Monroe. That should be maybe the best tournament, depending on weather, and what happens. That could be potentially the best tournament of the year for Monroe. Knock on wood. We should be, because here's what happens at Monroe. The April-May time frame. Again, everything's variable depending on weather, but you'll have the spawn and then you'll have the shad spawn. Shad spawn on Monroe is just unreal sometimes, so it'd be fun. West Boggs, it should be really good too. Should be looking at a spawning situation there as well, and bluegrass could be. It's a little delayed right now too because of the weather, so it could be right in that spawn period as well. April 25th, SIAC's first on-site event of the year at Patoka Lake. Very excited for that. Even though SIAC's kind of kicking off the year with the charity event at the first of the month, this kind of feels like the true kickoff for SIAC, all of us getting together. So that'll be fun. And then April 29th through May 3rd, you have the Niona South Mud Series, which is the northernmost Indiana grubby series kicking off. So yeah, pretty good stuff right there, guys. I'm excited about it. A couple other notable mentions here. You've got Grubby's Trail Series will be up at St. Clair. And then you also have Grubby Trails, or the Grubby St. Clair Series, starting up this month as well. I don't have those dates in front of me, so I apologize for that. But those are coming up very soon. That'll be exciting. So make sure to check those out. You also have Paddle and Fin with their new trail series. They're kicking things off in Indiana. How about that? I love that. They're going to be up at the Tippecanoe River. So make sure to check that out. That's April 24th on that event. Thank you for those that reminded me. I did not include that in my post today because I thought that was in May and I was wrong. I thought it was beginning of May and it's end of April. So apologize to my friends at Paddle and Fin for that. All right, let's see. We got Marcus with another question here. Thanks, Marcus. I appreciate you being in here today and watching with us. Does the White River include the Anderson area? Yes, it does. Marcus, it does include the White River area. So Marcus, it sounds like you're maybe wanting to get into kayak fishing, new to kayak fishing. Feel free to reach out to me. You can either hit me up via Hoosier Kayak Bassin, Facebook or Instagram at Hoosier Kayak Bassin, or you can find me, Sam Jones, on social media pretty easily. You just type in @Jones into Fish again on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll come up. So feel free to get with me, man. I'd love to hear more about you and help you get into the sport if I can. All right, so that's what's going on in April. So we've talked about what happened last week, what's going on this week, what's going on next week, and then all of April. Guys, make sure, hopefully you're listening to this prior to the start of the month. Make sure if you want to fish the SIAC or the KBF State Challenge Series event, to get signed up before April 1st. Those tournaments do have a closed registration at that point. You cannot sign up after March 29th. So make sure to, or March 31st, I'm sorry. Make sure to get signed up for those events. Okay. Let's see what else we got here that we haven't talked about that's going on right now. I can't think of anything. I think that's pretty much it, guys. Huge shout out to this week's winners: Troy Stinson, Drew Duncan, and then of course Mr. Rick McCain, who tied up at Monroe with me. Pretty awesome stuff. One step closer to those AOI titles, those championship qualifications, and all that kind of good stuff. Another shout out Justin Staley with the big bass there at West Box. So cool stuff. I'm just checking the leaderboards real quick, guys, to see if there's any updates there before we kind of officially say goodbye to those for the day. Nope. So again, if you guys want to check those leaderboards, you can find those on Tourney X. You can also find those on HoosierKayakBassin.com under Tournament Central live leaderboards. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for today. Like I said, quick episode, kind of give you an update on what's going on around the sport here in Indiana. Marcus, no apologies needed, man. That is what Hoosier Kayak Bassin's all about. We're excited that you found this and that you're asking these questions. And feel free to keep asking them. I will stay on here until I have to get off and answer questions with you. I'd love to. That's what this whole thing was about. When I came back to Indiana and I wanted to get back into bass fishing, I decided to go the kayak route instead of going back to the bass boat side. And I had a hard time finding answers to similar questions and finding the community and getting involved. And so it was through Alan Reed, who I worked with on a pro staff group and some other stuff and bumped into on the water. He started introducing me to like SIAC and things like that. And I said, there's got to be a better way to get people. I mean, there's guys that fish SIAC that know nothing about grassroots bass yak and guys that fish grassroots bass yak and that know nothing about IKA. Well, why not have one place where people can find all this information? And that's what we're trying to do here. So please ask the questions. Share it with a friend. Share this go live. Share our pages. Give us some likes and comments on our post because that helps us promote the sport, promote the anglers that we're talking about today in these clubs and these series and get people involved and help educate people on how great this community is and everything there is to do in it. So you've seen it kind of scrolling across the bottom there during this episode. Please give us a like and a follow and share that stuff. So we're not out here to make money or get anything out of it other than simply sharing the sport with everyone. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, kind of a unscheduled midday episode. Hopefully maybe some of you got to catch it that wouldn't have otherwise on a weeknight. Typically these shows are posted at 8:30 or we go live at 8:30 on Thursday. So Marcus, make sure to tune in. Next Thursday, we'll be live again. Not exactly sure, still trying to work out the details on the guest because everything's kind of gotten jumbled with not having one tonight. So if you want, go back and check out last week's episode. We talked to Mike Elsey about spring tactics. We talked about the state championship, which was really fun. Everything we talked about there is going to apply in the weeks to come as we go through the spring bite here in Indiana. So unless anybody has any questions really quick, I'm going to sign off here and get ready to head down to Bluegrass. I'm going to leave first thing in the morning, fish there, fish Sullivan on Saturday, and then I think Sunday taking the day off, which will be much needed with the family. And then Monday, I think I'll be fishing over there at Brush Creek it is. So appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in. Give us a like, give us a follow. Make sure to check out HoosierKayakBassin.com and message us if you need anything, need help with anything. Appreciate you. See you guys later.